Alright, so how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we are going to be doing something that I messed up last week when I tried to record this the first time. So essentially last week I went ahead and unlocked the hovercraft in the game and was like, yeah, let's go ahead and make a video on this. We'll get this up within the next day or two. It had part to do with the reason why there wasn't an upload on Saturday, I think it was, or it would have been, I think it was Saturday. But partially the reason why there wasn't an upload that day is because I sat down, recorded 2 videos, and noticed that both my frickin' audio track from the mic and the game capture track were on the same track, and that causes kind of issues when you go into the editing thing. You can't hear yourself speak. You can't hear yourself say anything. So we're going to be doing that again today, just basically going over the customization of the hovercraft, what you got to do to unlock it, and how it performs basically, because I think that is a pretty awesome vehicle that I don't know if it's been covered on YouTube yet still to this point. So that's what we are doing today. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing switched over. We got the Mustang here. We need to get rid of this thing, get the hovercraft up in front, and we will go from there. So here you have it, the Proto XT3. It's the hovercraft that you get from completing all the story missions that have to do with the freestyle family. This thing, honestly, as you would expect, it's a hovercraft, all right? And that's a wall. But it's a hovercraft, and you know, it's floaty. It's pretty awesome. Can go anywhere in the game, which is a huge... definitely a huge factor that incorporates, you know, what makes this thing just great. But let's look at the customization options. So there isn't any performance or visual parts yet. Now in the first quarter update, they do plan on putting this as a discipline that you can drive in, and that's going to have races and stuff in the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of visual customization that you can do when that actually comes out. Performance parts, obviously there will be performance parts when that comes out in the game, but for now we are stuck with just the liveries to do. So just taking a look at them, you know, you got a G.I. Joe one there, which is pretty sweet. That one there, you got a Monster Energy one, which, I mean, it's an alright, half-decent job. This one here is a Coast Guard one. So definitely some awesome skins that people have made for it, which is definitely great. Like, this one's a Canadian Armed Forces one, I'm guessing. But that's the wrong logo. But other than that, like, some definitely super creative things that have come onto this one. I think we're definitely going to be going with the we can't be putting any Supreme logos on the damn thing, though. But I think I definitely am going to put this G.I. Joe one on. That thing just looks sweet. The guy did a real good job with it. And I think it covers all the paint, because I don't think if we go and we put a... Oh, no, yeah, I guess you can see it from the inside. So I guess we should do technically kind of like a matte green color then, to go with the... I feel like that's a little bit too dark, and then none of this is really drab enough. But whatever, that kind of looks close enough to it. So matte green on the inside. But yeah, this thing, this livery, and that's the crazy thing about the liveries, is some people are so good at making these. Like, this looks just professional level. So that's absolutely crazy, the fact that people are this good at making liveries in this game. But I think it's about time to stop, quit talking, quit chatting about this and stuff like that. Let's get it turned on. Just kidding, I guess it doesn't want to start for some reason. That's really strange. Usually you can jump in the vehicle and you can start it. I have no idea why you can't start it yet. But yeah, so let's go ahead and take this thing outside. Let's try it out, see what we can do with it, and go from there. So the one thing I've noticed about this thing, that if you're on hills and stuff, you will like fall backwards if you're going anywhere. But sounds like a damn hovercraft, man, and that's pretty much what you can expect. And it's pretty good. Like, honestly, like, it handles pretty good for being a hovercraft, as you'd expect. It's super floaty. I think that goes without saying, though. But look at how awesome that is. Like, you can just go ahead and just cut right onto the water with this damn thing, and there's no problem whatsoever. It is seamless transitions. It does about 80 miles an hour everywhere, which is super nice. Because again, like, you can pretty much go off-road, on-road, on the water, do whatever you want with this thing, and you have no, like, loss in transition. You're going to get right back up to 80 miles an hour doing whatever you want. And this thing, like, again, you can, like, drift corners with it, which is pretty awesome. The one problem that I've noticed is pretty much trying to get around corners, though. The drifting is great. It's super fun to do. But when you're trying to get around corners at a tight speed, it really likes to swing out, and it's a little bit difficult to actually do properly, is what I've come to find out from doing it. Is getting used to how this thing corners is going to be something that is going to be a little bit annoying for like everybody that does it, I think, in my opinion. But again, like, look at this, like, no problem whatsoever. You can just go ahead and drift around this circle, even though it doesn't consider it a drift. You can just have no problem just drifting around the circle here like that. This thing is absolutely a blast to drive, and I just think it's such a cool thing that they went ahead and implemented in the game. I just honestly cannot wait to see what they do with the actual spec. Like, are they going to do races? Are they going to have big jumps? Are we going to be going across multiple terrains with it? Like, honestly, all those questions are questions that I have no answers to right now, and that I don't think anybody has. And we're smashing some stuff around here. Because again, like, the second you start doing anything, it gets a little bit hard to control. But those are all questions that I don't really have answers to right now. I don't know what they're going to plan on doing this thing, which, again, I think this could be one of the funnest disciplines to play with in the game, or it could be something that is going to be one of the hardest and most annoying to do. So we'll have to see how that goes. And it goes without saying, too, like, with this new update that's going to add new disciplines for us to do, is it going to give us new ultimate cars and stuff that we can unlock? Because I know there's ultimate cars that you can get from each family, but if we're going to be adding new disciplines, is there going to be new stuff, or is there just going to be new races? Because I'm definitely interested. Nitrous, though, on this thing is freaking sweet. You can do some jumps on it, and I think this is a perfect transition into where we're going to take this thing next. This thing needs to head to a motocross park so we can actually see what this thing can do on the jumps. Alright, so we're here at the motocross park. Don't worry, it gets a lot brighter. It just looks really dark right now with the way the lighting is, but it does get brighter as we actually go down into the actual park itself. But I figured that this would be the perfect place to actually test out how this thing does and see what we can do with it. We got jumps, we got tight corners, we got everything. So let's see just how great of a vehicle this is. And basically going over jumps and stuff like that, this thing just floats over them, like, no problem whatsoever. Like, you don't even really feel it when you land, which is just, it's a really nice feature about it. Because again, in like a lot of cars and stuff, they bounce up. The bikes even bounce up themselves if you don't land them properly. This thing just like lands flat. But this is kind of the corner thing I was talking about. If you don't know what you're doing in corners like that, you can run yourself into a whole lot of problems. It does only take a little bit to get used to it, and I'm already messing up like crazy amount right now. But it does take a little bit to actually get used to what the corner is, because you want to like steer away from it, but you have to just almost like steer into it. And it's something that, you know, I'm not even really that good at doing yet, and I'm just, it's going to be super curious to me, like, how they actually plan on implementing it in an actual spec and do races with it and stuff. Because even just trying to turn around in like this little tight space is difficult in its own sense, because this thing just wants to kick out everywhere. So here we go, you got a corner here, and if you can properly get a turn like that, or like so, it works out pretty well for you. But it's just getting used to that and completely trying to remember, oh yeah, you're gonna go completely into the wall. You have to be paying attention to that. But other than that, the handling on this thing is not really the greatest. It doesn't really go where you want it to. I mean, it goes with how it's saying. It's a hovercraft. It's not a car. It's not meant to be completely taken on the tightest corners and just have the perfect handling in the world. It's not going to do that for you. It's going to be difficult. It's going to take a little bit to master it and get used to it, but I think for the time being, I think this thing is definitely a fun thing that you can have in the game to just mess around with. Go ahead and do your exploration. I think it's a great tool for that, honestly, compared to using like a rally raid spec vehicle or something like that. I do think that this thing is the ultimate exploration vehicle in the game, just because of how versatile it is. Like, it really doesn't matter. You're going to be going 80K no matter what. Whatever terrain you're going over, this thing has no limits to what it can and cannot. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video today, basically just going over the hovercraft, trying it out, doing some jumps, doing some turns. Hopefully the darkness on the video thing isn't too bad. Like I said, I wish that we could change that, but there's no way to do it at all on the consoles, which is just so annoying. I just wish that they would add a patch already. That would let us change the damn brightness, because it's terrible. But like I said, I do hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, definitely be sure to hit the like button and show some support here on the channel. Things have been going great lately, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. And if you're new here, this is your first time here on the channel, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button and the post notification bell while you're at it, so you don't miss any uploads in the future, because I try to do these things daily. Sometimes life gets in the way, but other than that, they've been daily uploads, and they've been quality. Aside from like a couple that YouTube's messed up, but that's their fault, not my fault. But like I said, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time.